Probably. Wow.
That hurt.
That hurt. What also hurt was Gangplank. Once again, I mean, you called it. They have to ban it out, maybe on red side even, but it was Fnatic who decided to go for it and got it in their hands. So how much of it is the champion and how much of it is how both of them have played it?
I think the moment when GP just one-shotted the Olaf with the Frozen Heart, I think it gave me flashbacks to the moments where Huni one-shotted Steve with Rise that week when he was 0-4. And it's painful. Yeah, it's like, really painful.
From these matchups, it really seems like they picked Lulu into the Gangplank, and now they picked Olaf into the Gangplank. And neither worked. So I think this is a high priority because both teams play it, but neither team knows how to play against it yet. So I think this is going to be purple side ban every game, something like that.
Basically, what that'll leave us with now is almost a best of 3 between Fnatic with Fnatic strategy Origin with an Origin strategy that isn't just, hey, let's get Gangplank and then let's just carry from the top lane. That being said, though, it is an even series now. We've seen positives and negatives from both teams in these first 2 games.
Yeah, and coming into that second game, of course, momentum was a big deal. How will Fnatic adapt? And then it starts off with Soaz surviving that tower dive. And that is what Tilde is made of, a lot of people would say. And that is what Soaz thrives on as well. And then it happens again. What happened after that? How did Fnatic adapt this time that they didn't last time around?
So the fail dive bot was obviously Rainover not getting turret aggro. I think this had to be miscommunication. Obviously, they kind of jumped the gun. This is adrenaline pumping. And after the first dive, they kind of left Huni on his own. And Huni is the one now having to defend from the dive, which he does pretty well and actually ends up getting a kill off of a dive.
Yeah, for sure. I think like the biggest swing must have been the fight at blue. I think with these 2 teams, I think whoever is going to get like the better lead is going to be able to clinch the game, because the issue we had with Origen before was how they kind of finished up the games against Fnatic. And after the first game we saw, I feel like it all depends on how like the first big advantage, like which side it will be on.
Yeah, let's take a look at that blue fight with the unfortunate move by Amazing as well. And probably you wanted to shine your light on that replay. I think it's going to come up in a second. A lot of blue steals from Fnatic, though, all around. And this was a very important fight.
Yeah, so this was actually really good engage by Mythy. But Yellowstar does his job as Janna right now. Mythy, beautiful engage, about to headbutt the Vivinen. But boom, Yellowstar refreshes the entire fight. And now Rainover is the one in the middle who can always get out. But now OG is split up. Their comp prospers when they're together. So now OG's trying to get out, and that's exactly what Fnatic want. Elise can repel, Reckless can jump over, and Yellowstar just supports whoever's in the front line. So this was really good flank by Gangplank, and then now this is OG running, and then they decide, JK, let's not run, let's fight. So right now they turn on Elise right now, and after this, they make actually a weird decision, because now they go and fight with Niels. So as an XP, he can actually leave right now, but they say, nah, we're still gonna fight this. So they end up turning the fight, and not really their favor. Mythy comes in at the end, doesn't really get what he wants, and this is just beautiful for Fnatic. They get, like, I think 4 for 1 in that, and that was the fight they needed.
Absolutely the fight they needed. And, you know, during that fight, it just became quite obvious that for Origin, they were indecisive. They weren't all going the same way. You could see Niels, you could see Soaz, like, do I go in, do I not go in? And that was the problem, is as soon as that fight got reset by Yellowstar, almost nothing that that Origen could have done without fully committing.
Well, I mean, like, their comp, sorry. I actually saw that.
Go ahead,
right.
go ahead.
So they have, like, Sivir, Olaf, Lulu. Like, they just want to get at you, like, really hard. And the second Yellowstar refreshes the fight, they're like, wait, that's not what our comp does. Like, why did it stop? So I think right when that happened, they forgot what their comp did. Instead of, you know, trying to go one way, they were all just like, let's run. And it didn't really work out.
I think, as you said, there's only one way for this, like forward. You don't have any back, like reverse gear on this car. I think what is important to note is the fact that Fnatic's team comp is very favored when you run into them. The Janna, the Tristana, Orianna, and the Gangplank are very good champions if you run into them. And I feel, as you've repeated multiple times, like I think Fnatic, like Origin's team comp has to be together, and they have to boom, get in there and kill something. And beautiful from Yellowstar.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the Gangplank, so maybe as a finishing replay, let's take a look at the one-on-one between Huni and Soaz in the end. Was it a misplay? Was it a good play, Yamato, or are you getting flashbacks and terrors of this Gangplank?
I think it was a misplay balancing the champion. That is all, because a champion with the Frozen Heart should not be one-shotted like this by a physical damage champion. It's like Rise all over again, I feel. And I feel, just as James said, I think we're going to have a fresh best of 3 because Gangplank is not going to be played anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. But also, he was in the true damage of the Gangplank ult, I think, at that time. and the Gangplank ult ignores 80% armor. So it's like the Frozen Heart really didn't do its job in that 1v1.
No, we'll see if the Gangplank stays in this best of series or not. The European LCS Summer Finals are locked up at 1-1. Before we take a break, though, we're going to check in with Pulse, who's standing by for a word with the UOL's VODS.
Thank you very much, Sharks. I'm here with VODS of the Unicorns of Love. And first off, VODS, we're in the middle of Sweden, Stockholm, your home city, and you're coming back here. How was it like playing here? Because the analysts are saying how well you stepped up yesterday.
I think it's by far the most exciting stage I've ever played on. Coming home to my home city and playing in front of everyone in Stockholm is just absolutely amazing, and I love it.
Well, fantastic. And also, on top of that, you guys are now in the regional qualifiers. How do you think that one's going to go? You still have a shot at that world spot.
I think we got a good chance. Depending on this outcome of the series, we know what seed we will get for the upcoming games next week. I think we got a good chance depending on our practice and so on. And we'll do our best to show good performance.
Well, I'm certainly excited to see the Unicorns in the regional qualifiers. Now, on to this game right here, we saw Origen take game one, super strong at taking those early game advantages, but Fnatic, they just took that second game. How do you think this rest of the series is going to pan out?
I think it turned out to be a really exciting series. I think Fnatic will win either like 3-1 or 3-2, but it's going to be a really close fight, and I think Origen so far has shown a great improvement, and they just put up a great fight so far.
Yeah, definitely put up a great fight. Well, thank you very much, VODS, taking the time to talk to me. We're going to throw it over to a quick break before we get back with the coverage of the LCS.
And for the first time in 3 months, Fnatic now need to show us how do they bounce back in a series with a loss. Flash Cocoon, the barrels, the boom! Soaz will be going down shortly, but it's going to take Huni! Rainover's looking for more! The red buff is ticking! It's not enough!
What an outplay!
Huni continues to push down bottom and Niels. It's flashed away! Reckless is looking for the kill! He gets headbutted towards Niels!
They're going on me, they're going on me. Here. I've ult. Can we fight them?
Go, fight!
Simmer, here.
Gragas. Nice. Push top. Nice going, guys.
In 32 minutes, they take down the Nexus turrets. They take down the Nexus, and they even out the series 1-1.